Bay. First and foremost, I want to say you look great today. There's a lot of weight loss management information out there, and you're going to hear a lot of the same common language. Yes, you need to be in a caloric deficit, you need to exercise, and you need to be consistent. But I want you to understand these are all external factors that are important to weight loss management. But what many coaches are not talking about is the less common but crucial factors. So in today's conversation, I'm going to be giving you the 7 unique weight loss concepts that coaches aren't talking about enough. So by the end of this video, I hope that you're able to take away something new and possibly implement it into your routine to start seeing results fast. Okay, so here we go. Concept number 1. You want to be mindful about how many calories you're consuming, because the fact of the matter is, in order to lose weight and to manage your weight loss, you absolutely want to be in what's called a caloric deficit a majority of the time. But one of the concepts you're not hearing a lot about is actually eating enough calories. Eating enough calories matter because eating too few calories actually slows down your metabolism, which is responsible for weight loss management. Food is fuel. And so when we consume food, our body uses the food's energy to begin to even manage the food that you just ate. And so what happens when we eat too few calories is that our body goes into conservation mode. Our body's has been, and always will be designed in order to keep us alive. So our body does a thing where it puts us into survival mode. Conservation mode is a survival tactic that says, we don't know when we're going to eat next. And so we want to make sure that we actually store some of the fat that we have here to use for energy later. And if we're not actually in a situation of survival or need to conserve fat, then we want to make sure that we're regulating our systems ourselves. That means that we need to eat a specific amount of calories. Everybody's amount of calories is different. For the most part, it's going to average somewhere in between 1,500 to 3,000 calories per day. And so to make sure that we're eating enough calories, we actually want to determine how many calories we should be intaking per day, so that we can manage our weight. If you need to calculate your calorie intake, do me a favor. Go ahead and click the link in the description box. I got a calculator for you. Everyone's is different, so you need to know what yours is, and then you want to start to become accustomed to understanding how many calories you're intaking per day so that you can manage your weight loss efficiently. Next, when we don't consume enough calories throughout the day, that's what actually increases cravings and binges. If we don't have enough calories throughout the day and then we're up all night, or even if it's not all night, sometimes a part of our wind down process in the evening time is to chill and relax, right? So if you're on a couch and if you're watching something, this might be a cue or a trigger for you to actually eat something. You might start to induce an actual craving, the notion that you need to eat something. Having few calories throughout the day actually makes sustaining weight loss a lot harder. We want to ensure that we're having enough calories to sustain ourselves throughout the day, and that we're prioritizing protein, especially at night, to minimize cravings and binge cycles. The next concept is stress management, another internal factor that we are responsible for managing. Okay, so there's 2 types of stress. We're going to talk about both. First of all, our bodies already produce stress through an enzyme called cortisol. Cortisol induces stress within our body because we actually need a little bit of stress in order to do things, to make decisions, to take action, to keep us safe. However, there's a very moderate level of cortisol within our bodies that's happening naturally already. What we want to be mindful of is adding mental and emotional stress to our bodies, which can also increase our cortisol levels. Chronic stress raises cortisol, which leads to fat storage. Again, our bodies are designed to keep us safe. And so if it's inducing a factor that's designed to help to keep us safe, it is going to store fat, aside from a lot of other energies that you probably don't want stored in your body either. It specifically will store fat in the belly because this is where a lot of our vital organs are. So this part of our body actually needs a significant amount of protection. So fat is going to be stored around the belly. You want to lose belly fat. You want to manage your stress levels a lot better. And be sure to curb any emotional eating that might take place at the time during stress. Stress comes up. Sometimes we cannot control or help the circumstances that we are in. And sometimes it's even challenging to manage the stress levels that we feel, which can be a cue or a trigger for us to now eat to make us feel better. We'll have another conversation about that at another time, but I do want to say that if emotional eating comes up, just be mindful about the choices you're making. All right, so while we were speaking of stress, we were also speaking about the belly area, which brings us into our third concept. Gut health and microbiome balance is such a crucial factor in weight loss management. Our gut requires a diverse amount of bacteria that actually helps us to digest our food, absorb nutrients, and regulate hunger. So when our gut health is off, we might find that we have a harder time digesting food, losing weight, or even doing simple things such as using the bathroom regularly. So it's just as important to prioritize your macronutrients such as fiber like it is protein. Fiber is going to be one of the essential components that's going to help the gut break down all of the food that we need to absorb the nutrients from that food and create satiation so that we feel fuller longer. So eating more flax seeds, chia seeds, fruits and veggies that are high in fiber, even taking supplements in order to improve this process may be very beneficial for you. By the way, if you are looking for a dietary fiber supplement, go ahead and click the link down in my description box below. I have something for you there. All right, so that was pretty simple. Moving on to the fourth concept. You want to manage your hydration levels. Water is another crucial factor that's going to help with weight loss management. It is so interesting to me that every time I increase my water intake when I'm in a regular routine with a workout and when I'm eating really well, how much more muscle definition I see versus when I don't have as much water. I also want to mention that a lot of the times we're actually dehydrated. We're not having enough water, and it's not just because of how hot it is outside. Like, we need to drink a sufficient amount of water on a daily basis in order to consider ourselves healthy. And specific to weight loss, even being slightly dehydrated slows metabolism and can be mistaken for hunger, leading you to another snack or another meal, which may or may not be okay for your particular diet, but it's more about the mindfulness, right? We want to make sure that we are incorporating water before, during, and after our meals. We want to have water breaks. We want to drink fortifying, alkalinized water, right? We want to drink electrolytes. These things all help to make sure that we are not mistaking ourselves for being hungry and overeating in our calories. It also aids in helping the digestive process, which obviously leads to the weight loss. All right, so next is something that I don't hear a lot of this term used, and I think it's okay to actually give the entire name of this process, but it's called NEAT. And so if you meet a certified instructor or personal trainer, they know this concept. NEAT is an acronym that stands for a non-exercise activity thermogenesis. All this means is that it's the calories that you burn outside of intentional movement, right? You go to the gym with the intention of working out. However, how you get to the gym, how you leave the gym might be a part of your NEAT process. So maybe if you drive to the gym, but you park 4 blocks away, now you're walking from your car to the gym is a part of the NEAT process. You are using energy and burning calories in the NEAT process of just getting to the gym. And then the same thing when you leave the gym. Now you just finished the workout, and now you're gonna walk back to your car. So your body is always burning calories. Like, we burn calories even while we sleep and think. It's more about the intentionality, right? So if you've been sitting, you have a desk job, or maybe you've just been sitting for quite some time, you setting a stand reminder is a NEAT activity. Or you buying a standing work desk is a NEAT activity. Or walking after a meal is a NEAT activity. So these are activities that still uses calories for energy and can aid in weight loss, because walking obviously is going to burn more calories than just sitting. Sitting may burn more calories than laying down, though, right? So it's all relative to its perspective, but nonetheless, these are all movements that's a part of the weight loss process, even sometimes without us having to be conscious about it. But I do want to add that if you are going to move, the more that you can do it with intention, the more weight you can potentially lose. Like, yes, walking is a NEAT activity, but power walking will burn more calories than just walking on its own. Yes, standing in the elevator is going to burn calories, but taking the stairs instead of the elevator is going to burn way more calories than standing on the elevator. People think I'm nuts, but you might see me on the platform waiting for the train and doing squats or dancing or doing some sort of activity where it's not an intentional 30-minute workout that's about to take place, but I'm just mindful about moving. I'm using my hand while I'm talking. That is also movement. I just want you to gather the perspective that even these things can have a big impact on your weight loss journey, especially when you're intentional about them. Okay, the sixth concept is to go to the doctor and to make sure that you do not have any conditions, underlying conditions, that is restricting you from weight loss. A lot of the tips that you're going to see in any one of these weight loss management videos, including mine, are going to be relevant to anyone who does not have a current medical condition. But some people have hormone imbalances, such as thyroid conditions, diabetics, or any other type of insulin resistant conditions. Estrogen and testosterone changes over time. So our hormones over time, even without the underlying conditions, change. And when it changes, something in our routine typically needs to change as well, because more than likely we're either going to be more resistant to losing weight, or we're just going to we'll have a more challenging time with certain foods and diets and workout regimens. Nonetheless, I'm saying none of this to add to the limitations. I want you to understand that anything is possible. But if your hormones are off, the calories in versus out conversation isn't as straightforward. And I do want to acknowledge that. Some of our bodies may resist fat loss, and so it requires other measurements in order to lose the weight and sustain the weight loss. And that is okay. That's something that I still want you to be very hopeful about. It just means that you need to take a different route. The same way a power lifter's route and routine will be very different from a marathon runner. Hey, and number 7, here we go. The final concept that I have for you guys is going to be mindset and self-sabotage patterns. What I've learned in my studies with this big ass book is that we can take a lot of action towards achieving our fitness goal. But what I have decided in my experience on this fitness journey is that overall fitness is the equivalent to longevity and a happy life, but even in all the action that you can take. Another crucial factor is your belief that you can accomplish the thing. There are plenty of people who sign up for gym memberships and never attend the gym. There are plenty of people who buys an entire diet package and never start the diet package. There are plenty of people in the gym that are without a plan and sitting on a machine that they don't know how to use, scrolling their life away on their phone instead. I want you to understand that once you've made the decision to change your life in this way and to lead a healthy lifestyle, that diets aren't restrictive. They're just your habit and your way of being. And you get to set that into motion of how you want that to look and what it needs to be. So you may not be at your desired weight right now and love Oreos. Can you still get to your desired weight eating Oreos, loving Oreos? That is possible. Can you get to your desired weight without the Oreos and then reintroduce Oreos into your diet if you wanted to? That is possible. Can you lose weight, have a healthy, happy lifestyle, and never eat Oreos again? That is possible. All routes are possible. It's about the way that you are perceiving this thing to be. Many times, exercise and movement feels like a chore to people, where it can truly be rewarding and just a part of the process, the same way of like driving to work is a part of the process of receiving the paycheck. Once we shift our perspective around our weight loss journey so that we are fully living in and seeing the end of a happy and healthy lifestyle with good mental health, good physical health, good emotional health, and good spiritual health, that this is the ultimate goal, that is ultimate satisfaction. And that needs to feel possible to you in order for you to enjoy the journey there. You can get to the destination on that journey still, but I just want you to know that you can do it in a happy way as well. Typically, my workouts are very challenging, but the members love coming to my classes. I play really great music. It's motivating. I encourage dance breaks. People know that they can always modify their workouts so that theirs don't need to look like their neighbors or to look like mine, that it could still look like what they're able to do in this moment and they could still work towards their goals. I have never once heard someone say, man, I regret going to the gym today, or I regret working out today. It's just not a thing, right? It's so like sometimes we have it in our mind that we don't want to do something, or something is hard, or that it's more like a chore and it's not enjoyable. But that's because we've decided that that's what it needs to be, and it doesn't have to be that way. I highly encourage that you are doing workouts that you enjoy, that you are seeking mentorship, coaching, and help if you need it, that you are finding an accountability buddy, even if that's someone new, right? Someone that new that you'll meet, that has common goals towards having that healthy and happy lifestyle, and that you stay consistent as possible, and that you persist, because our life is the one thing that we have to work on all the time, and mindset is just as important. So that is the seventh concept: being mindful of not sabotaging yourself, thinking that you want this goal, but that you actually cannot take the steps that's a part of the process to achieve it, or that you need to be on this restrictive dieting plan and in order to get to achieve your goal, or that you are or believing in this all or nothing plan. It's either I eat carbs or I don't eat carbs in order to lose weight. Or if you're well into your journey already and you have a consistent routine with working out, and for the most part you do eat pretty good, clean, or healthy, but you have cheat days. So what? You shouldn't feel guilty about your cheat days. Like, we work really hard so that we can enjoy the one-off days in which we're able to participate in such things. Like, I don't keep ice cream in my house, but when I go out, if they have ice cream on the menu and I want it, I'll enjoy the ice cream outside. Or if I want ice cream, I might actually pick up a small little ice cream or have an ice cream cone because I want it. And it's not something that I anticipate on having daily. I know what happens if I have ice cream daily, so I'm not going to do that thing. And most of the time, I'm not doing that thing. So when I do it, I'm able to fully be present and enjoying that moment because it's rare. And I want you to have the same experience as well. I want you to be able to know that you can still enjoy this process and it doesn't need to seem impossible. All right, my friends, so let's go ahead and recap the 7 less common but crucial factors that you need to consider as a part of your weight loss management. 1, are you eating enough calories? Yes, being in a caloric deficit is important. You need to understand what your calorie intake should be and try not to eat under that number too consistently to avoid conservation mode, an increase in cravings, or another binge cycle. Number 2, I need you to manage your stress. We already have a natural stress hormone inside of our bodies, so we need to manage mental and emotional stress to ensure that, again, our body is not going into conservation mode and storing fat instead of allowing us to burn it. Number 4, make sure that you are prioritizing your gut health and microbiome balance. Incorporate fiber and other dietary nutrients to digest your food accordingly, to absorb nutrients, and to regulate your hunger. Number 4, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. I can't say it enough. Water is super important, and you'll see results even faster if you increase your water intake. Number 5, remember, non-exercise activity counts. Just continue to be intentional, setting stand reminders, putting a little pep in your step during your walks, or even adding some power music while you do your chores at home. If you've never tried mopping to Maniac, now's your chance. Number 6, if you're truly restricted to losing weight, you want to check in with your doctor to make sure that you're not experiencing any abnormal hormonal balances that might resist fat loss. And number 7, as with everything, mindset is everything. If you know someone with your ideal body image, go ahead and put up a picture or a poster of that person. Mirror affirmations are helpful as well. I actually ask my clients to do a before and after photo every single month, utilizing mirror affirmations and really understanding that how you see yourself in your mind is actually what shows up in the external reflection. And knowing that at any point in time, if you fall off of the bandwagon, either if it's not being consistent in the gym or with your workouts, or if it's having a guilty pleasure, eating something that you decided that you weren't going to eat during this time on your weight loss journey, that all is well and is going to be okay. Tomorrow's a new day. You get to wake up and just do it all over again. So enjoy yourself in the moment when you can, but also prepare yourself for tomorrow to be better than you were today, implementing the new knowledge that you learned that's going to help you to achieve your results efficiently and quickly. All right, and that's it. Let me know down in the comment box which one of these you haven't implemented yet, but you plan to immediately. And if you appreciate this content, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you know when I drop more content like this. If there is something specific that you would like me to talk about, also leave that in the comment box as well. I look forward to responding to you. And finally, if this resonated for you or you know someone who it might resonate with, be sure to share this content because we go faster and further together in community. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Peace. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Peace.